Please, no more. I will tell everything. I cannot make promises like this for everyone anymore. These crewmen are your former comrades, I believe. Yes. So when I decided to run away, I asked them to help me. We all agreed to help. Everyone together. Throw away everything. The fame and the ballet. Mother Russia. We wanted to help our angel. I don't believe it. You are right. We put sleeping drug in chicken last night. Yeah, I remember now. I did notice chewing on a lump of something strange and bitter at one point. Now, you can all make all wrong. How do you say... dissolve? Talk about heavy seasoning. At midnight, in waters near Shanghai, we brought our angel on board. She was held by comrade on shore, a small fishing boat. While all the passengers of the SS Beauty had slept soundly, he managed to pull the emergency alarm and get Pavlova on the ship without anyone knowing. Thanks to the almost magical effects of the slumber-inducing potion their evening meals had contained. So, if that's what happened, the only people awake on the ship last night were the crew, people who disliked chicken, and the newly boarded passenger, Miss Pavlova. And that means it would have been possible for you. You could have used the emergency stop trick to lock Kazma's cabin door. But how does that make sense? Surely every cabin door would have ended up locked in that case. And there would have been complete chaos. No, I wouldn't say so. What? Ah, of course. Just like us, all the other passengers would have eaten their evening meal of chicken in their cabins, after which they would have been overwhelmed by tiredness because of the sleeping drug. Quite. And accordingly, all passengers were already in their cabins for the night. Yeah. The overwhelming majority of passengers would have habitually sleep with their cabin doors bolted anyway. And so not one of them would have found it remarkable to find the door locked in the morning. In summary, in order to fasten the bolt of a single cabin door on the ship, the culprit brought the entire vessel to an emergency stop in the early hours of the morning. You have talked a long time and said many things. What is the point? And the point is what I said earlier. There was somebody else present on the scene when the victim lost his life last night. Someone who left a message in Russian on the floor in an attempt to incriminate another. Someone who tried desperately to hide the broken fragments of glass that would reveal the culprit's identity. And someone who abused the ship's emergency stop procedure in order to lock a door. All told, a busy night. But... I don't know about any of this. I'm just a little girl. You look, let's speak with your long English words and explain your clever ideas. Madame Seller. And settlers don't listen to long, boring stories. We don't believe. Settlers like me, we trust only what we see with our eyes. A laudable trait. What? I ain't quite the same disposition, my good man. Observation to me is everything. Miss Naruto. Oh, yes? Do you hear it? That accusatory cry of guilt on the wind. What accusatory cry of guilt? Can Ryunosuke hear it? Is he starting to believe? Sorry, you kinda lost me on that one. What? Proof of involvement, man. But you can't hear such a call with your ears. No. You must hear it with your eyes. For observation is the basis of all deduction. Well, okay, I get what you're trying to say over here, but... what do you want Udonosuke to do here? What are you talking about? I believe the time has come for one final logic and reasoning spectacular to expose the truth. I guess so. Here's to another episode right over here. So, Ms. Naruhodo, your assistance, if you please. Wait, what exactly, Mr. Holmes? With observation, my dear fellow. Just as I said. Of these two prevaricators. I have never heard of that word before. Observation?
If you remember, Miss Naruhodo, we know that somebody tried to fabricate evidence, don't we?
Yes. Oh. Okay. Well, I do remember one piece of evidence that we still haven't talked about.
By tampering with the scene of Mr. Asoka's death.
Yeah, indeed.
What we're looking for is some trace of evidence that one of these two was there when it happened.
That one of these two was there when it happened. Okay, maybe we're talking about something completely different then. I guess we shall see. Precisely. You are delightfully quick to grasp my meaning. Alright, I'll see what I can see. So we're looking for a trace of evidence that shows someone else was there last night when Kazuma died. Or it could very well be what I was talking about. What suggests that someone else was there at the scene? Okay. Clunky arms. Sailor's hat. Right ear. Left ear. Oh, hold on a second. Huh. It is an interesting little thing that we found here. Oh, look at this. It's some kind of stain in an unusual place.
Yeah, you're right. It looks like ink, if I'm not mistaken.
Indeed. Ink. And look at the color too. It's clear where this came from. Alrighty then. Well, here's your proof. Proof of somebody else being in a cabin. Because we've seen some spilled ink in Kazuma's cabin when he died and such. And we have, like, ink spilled on Stroganov's clothing right over here. Too much of a coincidence. Seaman Stroganov, you seem to have quite a large purple stain on the back of your white uniform there. No? Yes, I don't know where the dirt comes from. So nothing in particular comes to mind about the stain? What are you trying to say? It would appear that the significance of the stain has escaped your attention, Seaman. Allow us to make it plain. Okay. That's a very large purple stain on the back of Seaman Stroganov's uniform.
And I think what made this clear...
Indeed it is. So, Miss Noby, present the evidence that proves it. My pleasure. Alright then. The evidence that proves what the stain on the back of Seaman Stroganov's uniform really is, well, we can show this. The Russian word for wardrobe in purple ink. It is the bloody message.
Yes!
Quote unquote bloody. Yes, it's this photograph. And the ink it shows. That's what caused the stain on your uniform. Ink? A rather unusual color of ink. Purple. Oh, the penny drops. At last. Now you see the significance. The Russian word on the floor next to the victim's body was written in purple ink. And the stain on the back of your uniform is ink of exactly the same color. If the ink had been dry, you couldn't possibly have stained your uniform in that way. Which means you must have been present in the cabin in a moment immediately after the ink was spilled. Alright, yes. It was me. I did it. Everything. I arranged everything in dead student's cabin to make it look like wardrobe man did it. Then I pressed button to make Beauty do emergency stop, and bolt cabin door shut. I did everything so no one would suspect our angel.
If please.
Don't worry, Angel. Let me do talking. It was after 1 in the morning. I was on duty, patrolling passageway. Then our angel came to me. She was white like sheet.
If please, you must help me.
I went with her. The door to cabin number 1 was open. When I looked inside, I saw a student boy on floor. What happened here?
Please, don't tell anyone. My little one. My little furry friend.
Everything that happened in cabin is like Angel told you. And the kitten escaped through the ventilator into Mr. Asaga's cabin. And then he tripped over it and he broke his neck when he fell to the floor. Yes, that is right. So after the incident when the cat ran away, Pavlova then visited the cabin next to hers, only to find its occupant lying lifeless on the floor. She says she was worried when she heard sound of something falling on the floor. That's when she leaned to look. No, Angel. The door was not locked. So she opened to look and you already know what happened after.
There's just one thing. If you wouldn't mind.
What?
When he went to Mr. Asaga's cabin, Miss Pavlova, was he already dead? Why?
I already told you. Went in an open door of the student cabin and looked inside.
I was asking Miss Pavlova.
No, Miss Pavlova?
Da. Yes, that is right. I saw him. It was dark, and he was wearing black, but he was on the floor, not moving. I was scared. I understand. And I believe you.
So you're definitely it now? Have we discovered the real truth about Cosmo's death at last? Ah, something very nearly slipped my mind. Oh? Oh, Mr. Holmes? This photograph. Yeah, I took this myself, you know. The The cause of death was a broken neck. Therefore, the victim died instantly. And the unfortunate incident that precipitated these events, a kid on which the victim stumbled. However, if those are the facts, there is one particular area in this photograph that seems to me somewhat unnatural. What do you mean, unnatural? What are your thoughts on the matter, Miss Naruto? Hmm? Oh, well. Kazuma tripped and fell, and by some terrible stroke of bad luck broke his neck. Which part of this photographic print seems unnatural? I mean, what is it talking about? Kazuma tripped and fell, and by some terrible stroke of bad luck broke his neck. If he broke his neck, which part of this photographic print seems unnatural? It will be the neck itself? Or the finger? Because the finger not being in ink right over there, that would really tell, like, once again, like what I was talking about before, about how somebody else wrote that in ink. Because if Kazuma was the one that wrote it in ink, then his finger would be covered in ink. But would that be considered unnatural? Not really sure. Like, what is it that we're talking about right over here? This is an interesting question. Like, what is it that Sholmes is seeing that is unnatural? What, the fist? Like, his hand right over there? Like, it looks like he was it's in a position that would tell you that it was holding something. Maybe. This is actually something that did not cross my mind. Actually, hold on a second. I think I may have noticed something that was I was noticing something while we were looking at both Stroganov and Pavlova. Like, before discovering the ink on Stroganov's back, I did notice that Pavlova's earrings, they were not the same. I mean, one could say that maybe that is an aesthetic type choice. But you know what, let me think about this. When I think of the hand over here, it would tell me that it was holding something when they died. This is a wild guess, but what if we're talking about the other earring?
Yes!
Alright. If it really fell due to an unfortunate accident, then this fist just doesn't seem quite right. The exact same thought occurred to me. In a fall, one's instinct is to open the palms flat. Yet here we see the victim with his left hand tightly balled into a fist. Almost, you might say. As though he were gripping something. What do you mean? Simply that I took the liberty of investigating the victim's fist a short while ago. You did? And what, pray, do you imagine I found there, my dear fellow?
Mr. Shams, show us, please.
Is it an earring? Or what else could it be? Well, of course, my dear madam. Would I keep you in suspense? This is what I found. Ah, there you go. I was thinking there for a second that there was something odd about her earrings, unless it was an aesthetic choice. Like, Kazuma's fist would tell us that he was grabbing something. And then it came to mind that maybe it was an earring.
Oh, a crescent moon with a gemstone in the middle?
Yeah, you're right. A crescent moon. It's very pretty, but what does it tell us? It tells us nothing. I'm not so sure. That crescent moon looks familiar somehow. Sure not seen it somewhere before. Yeah, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? Observation is Noda. That is the key. What? The truth is now tantalizingly close. How did that crescent moon come to be in Kazuma's clenched fist? And this is the final clue. The last piece of the puzzle. Yeah. I guess so. So it wasn't just the cat that was involved in Kazuma's fall. When Kazuma fell, Pavlova was in the cabin as well, with Darka. Ask yourself, what does this little crescent moon mean? What significance it has? And observe. Find the answer with your own eyes. On it. It can only be the left ear, right over here. Yeah, we'll look at that. Okay. I did observe that before, but I saw these as two different earrings. One with a gemstone and the other ear. It had something like that, but I thought it was just an earring in itself. But no, that silver circle for the earring also had the gemstone before, but now it was missing if you were to look at the other ear.
She has such petite ears among that beautiful hair. Like little pink shells.
Oh, what's that? There's something dangling down from her ear.
Yeah, that's an earring. Wait, look! It's a crescent moon.
Ah? There can be no doubt now, surely. Yeah, let me look at this right over here. Yeah. I saw this at first as completely different earrings right over here. But no, this isn't an earring itself. It's part of an earring.
She has such petite ears among that beautiful hair.
There's something attached to her ear.
I expect that's what's called an earring. It's a little piece of jewelry.
An earring, is it? It really is tiny.
Perhaps part of it is missing. Maybe it broke off.
Yeah. I didn't see this as actually, like, something that broke off at first, but now I can see it. She doesn't appear to have noticed that it's broken. Yeah, she sure hasn't. But, okay, here's the important question, just so that I wouldn't fuck this up. Where did the crescent moon come from? You would say that it's right over here. It came from this right ear. I guess one mistake that you can make is that it came from this left ear, but no, this left ear already has a gem. The crescent moon that we've discovered came from here.
Yes!
Miss Pavlova, I noticed that on your ear. Even though you have a metal earring, the decorative part of it seems to be missing. The little link holding it on must have broken, I suppose. What? But looking at your other ear, I noticed a crescent moon. Oh! I don't believe it. No, the missing crescent moon was found in the victim's clenched fist. Clearly, there's only one logical conclusion. Wouldn't you agree, Miss Naruhodo? Yeah. Miss Pavlova, Mr. Asogi must have grasped that crescent moon and pulled it from your ear. Just moments before he fell to the floor. In other words, last night, in Mr. Asogi's cabin, you witnessed the moment when the victim fell with your own eyes. In fact, you were quite literally at arm's length from him. Indeed. So, to conclude, it wasn't just Darka, it wasn't just Stroganov, but also Pavlova. Place your bets if we're gonna go for the fourth person. But then the question is, why did Mr. Asogi do that? Why did he pull your earring from your ear and hold it in his clenched fist during his final moments? He was definitely clenching on that earring as proof for who was responsible for this.
No.
Angel. No one can protect you now. Please, Miss Pavlova, tell us the truth. Last night, what did you do to Kazuma?
When I think about everything that happened yesterday, it was too much. Running away, in the fishing boat in the middle of the night, trying to climb onto this huge ship. And then, when I was at last in this cabin and I could relax after this horrible, long day. Tarka, wait! I couldn't believe it when she disappeared through the ventilator. I tried to call her with a little whistle. I tried waving her favorite toy, but nothing worked. Narka would not come back.
What are you doing here at this time of night, Inspector? Oh. I'm sorry. I thought it was a friend of mine.
The young man from your country. He was very polite and kind. He helped me to find Tarka, and he promised not to tell anyone. But then, when I had my friend in my arms again, and I was going to leave the man's cabin... Just a moment. Sorry, but... Oh, yes?
I'm sure I know your face. I've seen you somewhere before. Of course. You're Nikolina Pavlova, aren't you? The Russian ballerina.
Huh? No, I don't know that name. My heart nearly stopped when he said that. He knew who I was. How could this man from a land in the faraway east know a Russian ballerina?
I saw your performance in Japan. The beauty of the ballet made a deep impression on me. But what are you doing on this ship? I'm sure I read that your ballet company was performing in Shanghai at the moment.
I cannot fool him. I have to tell him the truth. And I hope he doesn't tell anyone. I have no other choice.
I see. So you've run away.
Please, please keep my secret. Don't tell anyone.
Give me a moment. I could use another opinion here.
He's going to pull that cord. He's going to tell the captain. Why did I think I could trust him? Then it happened. Everything at once. It was only a second, but it felt like forever. Wait! I shouted. And then... that cat jumped out of my arms and down to the young man's feet. And... as he turned around to look at me, I pushed him. I don't even know why. I don't know why I did it. I was just so scared. And I had to stop him from telling anyone about me.
And that's when he went to fetch help. From Seaman Stroganoff, who was on duty out in the passageway. I heard Nina cry out, and fell on the floor. So I ran to her. She was standing at the cabin door, shaking like a leaf. She looked at me and said,
Help me, Biff. If they find out, I will be... Please, I have nowhere to go.
So I decided to help. And that's when he arranged things in Cosmo's cabin to make it look like I did it. So that no one would suspect this passenger at the cabin next door. Yes. I went to the cabin and I looked around, to make sure there was nothing to show Nina was there. And then I found a stowaway. In wardrobe. Still sleeping. Right. And that's when he found me. You know, when I'm thinking about it, it kind of makes me question if Cosmo was actually going for the bill to get an opinion. Something tells me that Cosmo was actually going for the wardrobe to ask Leonoski about it. And I don't know. She was surely gonna get scared if the bell was gonna be used, and some people were gonna come here and find out about Pavlova being here. But if it was Leonoski and Cosmo alone, and if they were to talk about it, I'm sure that they would have kept Pavlova's secret. It's just kind of sad, really.
So you worked out a plan to lay the blame on the stowaway.
I closed wardrobe doors and put back strange papers on. Luckily for me, that's the only reason Sato-san started to believe me when I said I was innocent. I dragged the young man's body to a good place, and used ink that was spilling to write on floor. I wrote wardrobe, so the person who found him would look inside wardrobe and find stowaway. And tell me, what did the glass bell?
It was by my feet, so I picked it up.
I see.
But it was dark in the cabin. I didn't notice the other half.
Then Angel went back to her cabin, and I finished the job. And by pressing the emergency alarm button in the passageway. Yes, Accordingly, the SS Beauty did indeed come to an emergency halt in a little after 2 a.m., thus enticing the bolt of the cabin door to slide shut, creating a locked room mystery. Huh. I guess now it's finally hitting me that Kazuma is... I guess if we are to go with this truth until the end, then I guess so. I guess Kazuma truly is dead. A part of me was thinking that maybe he faked his death and maybe there was some grand plan or something in regards to his mission and his escape from all this and such. But I guess since there are no evidence that will link to that, then I guess we're gonna go with this truth. There's still one thing I don't understand, Miss Pavlova.
What?
Well, you said that you told Kazuma about the fact that you'd run away from your homeland. And it's because you were worried he was going to tell the captain that you pushed him. Isn't that right?
Yes.
But even if he had pulled the bell cord and called for the captain of the ship, aren't you friends with every member of the crew? Why would that have been a problem? Yeah, that is also a good point, because, well, the chicken have already been drugged. When you say it like that, it sounds kind of cruel to drug your chicken, but they were already dead, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, everybody on the ship was drugged, except for those that are connected to Pavlova, who would also help her in her escape. So even if I'm still thinking that maybe Kazuma was also gonna go for Ryonosuke in the wardrobe instead of the bell cord, but even if he went to the bell cords, maybe what Pavlova did was she did it without thinking that it was okay for Kazuma to ring the bell anyway, that she was safe anyway. But she wasn't thinking like all the way because she was afraid.
It was what he said first that made me scared.
Hmm? What he said first. What are you doing here at this time of night, Inspector? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was a friend of mine. Oh, so you were thinking that he was actually going to get the opinion of the inspector, which is somebody that you don't know. And that would have been a problem in your eyes because he said inspector. That sounds like a pretty dangerous person in your eyes. Like that of police or something. Yeah, I guess it makes sense.
He said an inspector was his friend.
Ah, yes, meaning me, who was supposed to be acting as his bodyguard.
I thought that the police knew about me, they would arrest me.
Yeah, now it makes sense why you thought that.
So before he could pull the bell cord, I... May I stop you a moment, please, Miss Pavlova? It just doesn't seem to make sense. I mean, was Miss Sasori really going to pull the bell cord? I don't know. What? What do you think, Miss Naohado?
Yeah, you're probably thinking of this as well, Ronosuke. That Kazuma was going to ask for your opinion about this, not the inspector or anybody else on the cabin. No, no, I'm not Kazuma, so I honestly cannot know for certain, but he was a man of his word. If he told you he wouldn't give your secret away, then he wouldn't have done it.
No, he was walking over to it. He's going to pull the cord. It's going to make them send me back.
Well, Miss Naruto, the day's work is not yet done, it seems. There's one more deduction to make. Alright. What? Another deduction? Yes. What action was the victim really about to take at the moment? Can we determine whether the young man's gaze was directed? First, consider the victim's location within his cabin. Well, that's easy. I remember every detail of that room. I mean, yeah, I spent quite a lot of time in the wardrobe. But still, that cabin has been my home for this entire voyage.
So this is how the cabin looked last night, when Miss Pavlova visited Kazuma-sama.
Yeah, it's exactly how it was. Are you ready then, Miss Naruto? Yeah. If there's one thing I've learned today, it's that a simple gaze can reveal all manner of truths. And not only that, in order to draw the right conclusion, you cannot afford to be out by even a little bit when you're following the gaze to where it lands. So, when you turn away from Miss Pavlova, exactly what's Kazuma looking at? He was looking at the wardrobe. Considering everything that had happened last night, it certainly may have looked as though Kazuma was going to ring the bell cord. Yeah. However, what is directly beside the bell cord? The wardrobe.
The wardrobe?
And more importantly, what was inside the wardrobe? The man's great friend, sleeping soundly.
Ah! Miss Pavlova, please, think back very carefully. What were Mr. Asogi's exact words last night?
Give me a moment. I could use another opinion here.
Another opinion?
Yes, but not from a member of the crew. No, Mr. Asogi intended to consult his close friend on the matter. To see if, between them, they might be able to help in some way, no doubt. I mean, you know, Ryunosuke is similar to Pavlova. They are both stowaways. And something tells me that Ryunosuke would totally understand him being a stowaway and all that. So in which case, yeah, something tells me that at a point Ryunosuke definitely would have helped Pavlova in this.
No. Sadly, we cannot know the truth for certain now. It's too late for that. But I wish you had made sure of what Mr. Asogi was looking at. Things may have ended very differently, if you had.
Yeah. Something tells me that it would have ended perfectly fine and none of this would have happened. If you just waited like 2 more seconds. Man. Just a couple of seconds would have made like a huge difference. And this is really sad, really. Miss Pavlova, I want to thank you for finally admitting the truth. But unfortunately, the truth is, a man lost his life because of what you did. And that will never change. I hope you will never forget that.
Sorry. Really. So sorry. What have I done?
And so, at long last, the mystery surrounding the tragic accident on the SS Beauty was finally laid to rest. What will happen to Miss Pavlova now then? Once we reach Great Britain, she'll be handed over to the British police at Scotland Yard. What about the fact that she ran away from Russia? Won't the Russians try to repatriate her? Apparently, the English detective can speak to the immigration office and sort all that out. Mr. Sholmes can do that? I mean, you know, you can see it from miles away that Pavlova didn't mean to kill Kazma there. Like, I don't know, would you pin Pavlova as a murderous type that needs to be punished for what she did? Not really. I mean, it kind of depends on what Sholmes is gonna do in this case. He has the power to decide what Pavlova's fate is gonna be, in all honesty. So, she won't be going back to Russia then? No, I don't think so. I mean, if she's gonna be imprisoned for this, then at least let's not make sure that she comes back to Russia, because something tells me that going back to Russia for this crime is gonna end up much worse than if she was gonna be imprisoned in Britain or something. Or, I don't know. I mean, she did want to escape Russia. I mean, we should at least give her that. And if she wanted to return in the future, I doubt she would be able to. She ran away, so now she's in exile for life. I see. I'm sorry. See, Mr. Dragonov? I want you to help our angel, no matter what. But I think about you, about how you lost good friends. I will go with you. I'll give myself to British police. In the meantime, thank you for letting me go free again. Kazma's death feels like such a waste, but... no. Do what you can for Miss Pavlova, won't you? No. Well, I'm afraid you need to pack now. We're due to arrive in Hong Kong tomorrow. As much as it pains me, I'm going to have to hand you over to the consul to arrange your passage back to Japan. Yeah. I did stow away after all. I couldn't really expect any different. So, you should get back to your cabin now. Looks like my state tour to Great Britain is over before it's even begun then. Okay, changing the subject a little bit over here. Yeah, I can see what that place is on the right over there. I was thinking like that book and that book stand was from the desk in the left, but no. Apparently that is also like a place of study. And that is actually the first time I'm seeing this. It surely must be something Japanese. To think that only days ago, Kazuma and I were laughing together about how we tear up the streets of London. Yeah, that sounds like a distant memory now. Well, fuck. You know, I didn't even get the chance to do like mini Konosuba Kazuma jokes right over there. Now that he's dead, I'm not gonna be able to do that. I barely did it like once in the first trial. I was also prepared to do more, but I guess you know, I'm definitely gonna have to say that this case and the first case, they were solid. And this case right over here had like quite an emotional ending to it that makes you feel sad for Pavlova and Stroganov and such. But like once again, the protagonist's closest friend died, like in the second case. In the trilogy, Mia died in the second case, and now Kazuma died in the second case. A part of me wanted to believe that maybe Kazuma faked his death because, well, if he didn't and he truly died here, this is basically a repeat of the first trilogy, and it makes you feel kind of repetitive in that case. I was thinking that maybe they were gonna spin it up a little bit, but I guess so. Oh, what's that? Is it someone weeping? Actually, now I'm remembering. Where the hell is Darka? Like, wait. I mean, you gotta. Pavlova definitely has to go with Darka as well. She cannot just leave. Like, leave her friend behind. God damn it. Susato-san? No. She's probably grieving. There, you don't ask him. Naruto-san, I didn't know you had returned. Oh, well, I haven't been back long. Inspector Hosonaga just told me I should pack. You know, ready to leave the ship tomorrow and all that. Still, cannot believe this has happened. I can't believe someone's life can be over. Just like that. Hmm. He has such grand ideas for this visit to Great Britain. So many dreams. And now they've been cruelly taken away. Just as he has. I think I could never forgive the person responsible. But now we know the truth. It was just an accident. Just a silly series of mishaps. It's too much now, Odo-san. It's just too much. Yeah, I know. I wish there was something I could say. Inspector. My idea was to see Asogi-san safely to Great Britain. But I failed. And caused his two closest friends great pain and suffering as a result. I let everyone down. And I will do anything to make up for my terrible blunder. Well, you know, nobody blames me, Inspector. And I'm free again. But... Ah! Surprised, Miss Naruhodo? Okay, how many times are you gonna be doing this shit on me? Oh, a trifling matter. It's simply that in my head, I think I shall always picture you wearing those shackles. Without them, the balance seems all wrong. It's distracting. Sorry. So I decided to restore them. For old time's sake, shall we say. You're a stowaway after all. Ah! Thinks this is funny. Mr. Shams, we do appreciate all your assistance. I'd like to thank you, from the bottom of my heart. Not at all, not at all. And though it's a little late, I offer my sincere condolences. the loss of your companion is truly heart-rending. I hope that you'll be able to fulfill some of his aspirations in his honor. I'm afraid that won't be possible. And we shall be disembarking at the next port, in Hong Kong. We have to return to Japan and make a full report about everything that's happened. What? Wait a minute. It's just me that It's just me that has to go back, isn't it? I mean, I was the stowaway. I mean, I guess a part of me was thinking that, well, since Cosmo is dead, we can have this mission, whatever this mission is, be fulfilled by Ryunosuke. I mean, if it's for the sake of having the law system go forward into a better direction, then something tells me that Kazuma definitely would have wanted this out of Ryunosuke. But, you know, if Ryunosuke asks to go back, then we can have at least Susato go forward and continue Kazuma's mission. Or, not necessarily mission, but to fulfill Kazuma's wishes for the future of the law and such. Because Susato is surely a smart cookie. If Ryunosuke can do it, then Susato can do it. Imagine her, like, in the courtroom, doing her thing. The terms of the study tour were negotiated by the Department of Justice in both Great Britain and Japan. He was to be one lawyer and one assistant. Was to be. In the light of Mr. Asoka's unfortunate death, I'm afraid the study tour can no longer go ahead. Well, I don't care for me, but... Poor Sato-san. I mean, she surely wanted to... I mean, she surely wishes to go outside, to explore the world and learn and such, and similarly to Kazuma as well. She surely would have wanted that. My dear fellows, the majority of problems have an extremely simple solution, you know. All you require is one lawyer, and the study tour can continue, surely. You're thinking what I'm thinking. There's no one else with the necessary qualifications, Mr. Sholmes. We know no other lawyer. Qualifications, you say? Any qualifications obtained in your own country will be of little value in Great Britain, I'm afraid. Oh, but anyway, the voyage of London still promises a good month of time. Yeah, I mean, fuck qualifications from Japan. If the Great Britain, like, wants any lawyer, they can bring Kazuma out over here. And he barely even started. He doesn't know jack shit about lawyering. Ample opportunity, I would say, to find yourselves another suitable lawyer. Yeah. Miss Sato? Yes? Do you think perhaps I might be able to do it? But you're not a lawyer, Miss Naruto. Oh, unless... Are you studying law? No, not, but... No, I'm sorry. In that case, I don't think there's even a chance you could work. But as I said, there's still more than a month before we reach England's shores. Oh. Does this mean that until we reach Great Britain, Ryunosuke is gonna sit here and study to become a lawyer? That's actually pretty interesting. Isn't that right, Naruto? Yeah. I have a month in which to study, to learn what I must to become a lawyer in Great Britain. I mean, we have the books right over there. Like, no doubt Kazuma was a very studious person. He would have, like, tons of books with him to read. Perfect material for Ryunosuke. Miss Naruto. That's ridiculous. They're seriously suggesting anybody could learn all that in just 40 days. I mean, have you... Actually, no. I probably shouldn't say this because I would fuck up with the timeline over here and we will create like a time paradox over here by talking about the future and all that, but nonetheless, I'm talking about you viewers. But, you know, Phoenix Wright, he did like many crazy things. He achieved like great things during his earlier days of lawyering. Heck, he managed to defeat like a 40 years like a veteran in prosecution that lawyered for 40 years and such. And he was surely a rookie defense attorney, so yeah, anything can be possible, even for Ryonosuke over here. I mean, did you see him in court in the first trial right over here? Yeah, he had a really rocky start, but he can still manage it. He has the spirit. There's only one way to find out. I'll work my fingers to the bone, Inspector. Every single day. Will you let me try? And if by the time we reach Great Britain, I haven't learned enough to be recognized as a lawyer, I'll take whatever punishment is deemed appropriate. But why put yourself in such a difficult position? Isn't it obvious? For our friend Kazuma, Susato. For Kazuma. He said that there was something he had to do in Great Britain, and that he would sacrifice anything to make it happen. He was passionate about it. You don't let all that passion just come to nothing. Yep. We shall go. With the inherited will that Ryonosuke has. And anyway, it's for my own benefit too. I'll become a lawyer. I have to. What do you say, Miss Sato? Care to join us in our grand adventure out of here? Of the great ace attorney? I think it's a wonderful idea. Thank you. So, what does our bespectacled inspector friend say? Are you serious? One lawyer and one assistant. The numbers are indisputable. No, it's madness. Yet fascinating when you agree. Fascinating. Duty and rules are the dull routine of existence that we all uphold. Give us interest. Give us fascination. Speak for yourself. Besides, qualifications are no measure of a man. What measures his character? No? And you witnessed ample evidence of this man's exemplary character today, with your own eyes. From the early hours of this morning until this very moment now. Despite contending with the passing of his close companion, and despite the accusation of guilt, this man has shown resourcefulness, intelligence, and above all, courage. Yeah. I mean, hell. Like, this was Ryonosuke solving a case. Not in a lawyer sense, but in an actual detective sense. Like, we didn't need a trial for this. All Ryonosuke needed was his mind. And, well, he can become a lawyer, he could become a detective as well, if he wanted. Very well. I'll think of a clever way to word my report to the Department of Justice. Inspector! Yeah! Group hug! After all, I did just make a promise, didn't I? I said that I'd do anything at all to make up for my shortcomings here. Oh, thank you, Inspector. If you'll excuse me, I must pay a visit to the captain's quarters, I think. And then we'll discuss what to do next, and how best to make my report. Alright. Bye, Hosonaga. Have a nice night.
Are you really prepared to attempt this, Miss Naruto?
Yeah, I'm going to try. I wonder, would you consider teaching me what I need to know? Everything about being a lawyer.
I'll be delighted to help you. I am a judicial assistant after all.
Alright. Full speed ahead! Thank you.
And, Miss Naruto, I'd like you to take charge of this.
Well, me? Are you sure?
I'm sure it's what Kazuma-sama would have wanted. Its name is Karuma. It's a great sword. That's been in the Asogi clan for generations.
Of the great Saijo Wazamono. Very well, I accept. I'll treasure it always. So then, Miss Sato. He says we'll be working together for some time to come yet.
It'll be an honor, Miss Naruto. And for the next 40 days, I shan't grant you a single minute of freedom.
Uh-oh.
Shall fill every spare moment with studying.
Yes, that's exactly what I need.
And if you, every single time you fail, a Susato takedown.
Yeah, wait, what?
But, before I begin, I have a nice favor to ask of you too.
Goodness, what is it?
Please throw me to the ground. 3 times.
What?
I should never have doubted you. You are Kazuma's closest friend. Of course you would never have done anything to hurt him. That should have been obvious to me from the start.
Yeah, I mean, okay, let's... Like, we already forgive you long enough, Susato. We don't have to go that far. I mean, okay, you're probably specialized in that. You wouldn't get hurt, but still. It's not like Bionosuke would be able to do it anyway. I mean, look at him. He's not even that trained, physically.
But I allowed suspicion to get the better of me. And no matter how upset I was feeling, it was completely unforgivable behavior.
Oh, no. You were in shock. You just found out about me stowing away, and the cabin door was locked.
No! Let you make excuses for me. Whatever the circumstances, I should never have thrown you. And not just once, but 5 times!
What, did Susato throw him, like, more than what I've seen? While I was not paying attention? It keeps creeping up, doesn't it?
Please, you must.
Okay...
Just take hold of me and throw me. Do it! Don't even think about it.
I don't even know how. I've never thrown anyone in my life. Very wise, Miss Naruto. It's not a skill one acquires without considerable training.
Oh, Mr. Sholmes.
I observed your throwing technique several times with great interest. I confess, I was most impressed. Hey, you see that? Just go with it, Ryonosuke. Like, throughout this entire thing, Sholmes is gonna be able to see things that you wouldn't expect him to see. Like, he's gonna see everything. And you're not even gonna know it. I presume that would be a former Japanese wrestling?
Well, in a way, it's not wrestling, but my own interpretation of an ancient jujutsu technique.
And it's called the Susato takedown. It leaves your head swinging. Believe me. Oh, beguiling. I am a practitioner of the combative arts myself. I am a somewhat accomplished boxer. Yeah, you've definitely shown us before. You surely are a veteran in the ways of discombobulation. There he goes. I think I know again. Why don't you be so kind as to instruct me on the technique of your resting throw?
Yes, I'd be honored.
Then let us not dally. Demonstrate, my dear madam.
Oh, of course. Are you ready, Miss Naruto?
Well, I guess it was inevitable. She's gonna be doing this a lot, so we better toughen up. All right, a full night of Susato takedowns. Let's do this. Sorry.
Hiya! As you can see, you throw from the abdomen.
Arresting indeed. And that's what you term the Susato takedown, is it?
Actually, no. That was a Susato squash.
My groggy state of consciousness. The scene from an evening recently spent with Kazuma flickered into my mind. Karoma. That's right. It's a prized sword that's been passed down for generations of the Asogi clan. I cannot believe you managed to get permission to bring it with you. I mean, taking a katana on a study tour is more than a little bit irregular, surely. A Japanese man's sword is his soul, Donosuke. I cannot be parted from my katana. Karoma guides me. I truly believe that. So its name compels its wielder to slice evil in two? Not that he would never need so much compelling. On that subject, there's something very important that I have to do in Great Britain. And I'll sacrifice anything to make it happen. I'd appreciate you seeing it through with me. Of course I will. Whatever it is, I'll see through it to the end with you. I knew you wouldn't let me down. That important thing he had to do, I still don't know what that was. But I'm going to see the place for myself and work it out. In Great Britain's capital, London.